Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very honored to present my last book, The Promise of Immortality. This book is a wonderful message of hope and optimism for all those willing to believe that aging is not inescapable. Why did I write this book? There are two reasons for that. The first reason is personal. Being born in 1941, I'm currently 75 years old, and I wanted to leave a legacy to my children, to my grandchildren, and hopefully to my grandchildren. A few months before I had started writing this book, Laetitia, 11 years old, my wife's daughter, and very curious about life, asked me, "Tell me, will you be there with me when I get married and have kids? Will you hold my hand during the delivery like you did for all of your children?" I wanted very much to take part in all of my grandchildren's marriage and great-grandchildren's birth, but I wished with all my heart to be able to participate without having any disability, with the energy and mindset of a young man. The second one is professional. I was compiling my notes in a consistent form, and by coincidence I read about the life of Jeanne Calment, a French woman who has lived 122 years. She has lived 44,764 days and have the longest longevity on record. She died in 1997, and at this time, most specialists thought that we had reached, through Jeanne Calment, the limits of the human longevity. You know, she was not an example of perfection, neither she had a perfect lifestyle. Having read her life story, I discovered that she was what we can call an ordinary woman. And I say to myself, if she did it, why not me? Why not us? And this became my creed. For me, any death occurring before the age of 122 years should be considered as a premature death. How many times has the thought crossed our mind, if only I were 10 years younger, which with the experience that I have now. That wish could be accomplished today. Better yet, why not 10 extra years, 10 years of good health, 10 productive years without cancer, without Alzheimer, or 20 more years to spend with our loved ones, enough time to accomplish all that we haven't been able to do. What we want is not only a longer life, but a long life brimming with energy and creativity. This book is divided in 5 parts, which are health, aging, rejuvenating, lifestyle, and our special program, the J-Life Plan. The first part will help you assimilate the information which we'll refer to in the rest of the book as part of a global and holistic approach to health. We will introduce the key players, health, the dynamic balance essential for maintaining functional integrity called homeostasis. Then, cellular physiology and modern genetics. If you are already familiar with this scientific vocabulary, you can go straight to the second part. The second part attempts to explain why and how aging takes place. There are many theories which try to explain the cause of aging. We will focus on those for which there is a consensus today: DNA damage, telomere shortening, and as a consequence of this too, the accelerated aging of stem cells. To be born is not a crime. So why are we sentenced to death? We can survive certain severe illnesses, but not aging. Aubrey de Grey, a famous biogerontologist, believed that today we can already live 1,000 years. We have now a pretty good idea of why we are aging. The first evidence is that chronological age, the one which we celebrate every year, is not valid anymore. Aging do not depend on accumulating years. The second evidence is that our potential longevity, our chance to live longer, it's located within our cells and especially inside our DNA. There are basically three major causes of aging: DNA damage, telomere shortening, and our stem cell pool, which is shrinking. The third part of this book takes the second to its logical conclusion. It poses the question, how can we grow younger? It develops a response by working collaboratively and simultaneously on the causes of DNA damage, by lengthening telomeres and by protecting our stem cells. We are witnessing today a technological tsunami. Computer power is doubling every 18 months. Stem cells are revolutionizing medicine. Nanomedicine is the future, and many, many others. So, is immortality around the corner? One very first fact is that natural death can no longer be considered a universal law of nature. Certain organisms like bacteria or perennial plants can overcome aging and thereby present a kind of immortality. Have you heard about George the lobsters? Could lobsters be immortal? Not exactly. But they do not die of old age because telomerase, the enzyme responsible for lengthening telomeres, is always activated in their organism. Therefore, their cells do not die and retain the ability to duplicate, yet their shells remain susceptible to infection, which is why they still eventually die. Koi fish in Japan are known for their long lifespan, some living more than 200 years. One named Hanako died in July 1977 at 226 years old. Turtles are also renowned for their longevity. Adwaita, a Seychelles turtle, is said to have lived nearly 250 years. Hydra. When a part of its body is amputated, the hydra's body regenerated in 2 or 3 days, which make it potentially immortal. Jellyfish. Some has the power to live 1,000 years. The second chapter is about stem cells, regenerative medicine, and cell therapy. Stem cells are, as their name implies, the source of all our cells. It all begins with the fusion of the winning spermatozoid, which finds its way through the ovum and fertilized it. At the fission, life begins with the first embryonic stem cells. Ronald Reagan was a kind of visionary when he said that stem cells research can change totally our way to treat patients. Nanotechnology allows us to manipulate matter and build new structures at the nanometer scale, which is 1/1,000,000 of a millimeter, the size of a few atoms or molecules. Imagine a robot smaller than a micron with a DNA sensor which could, in a few seconds, detect a potential illness using a drop of blood or saliva. We can detect the early sign of cancer at the molecular level and even atomic level. Chapter 4 is about food supplement and their efficiency. There is ample evidence that this active supplementation associated with a better lifestyle will help to lengthen our life. In terms of supplementation, there are two ways to anti-aging protocol. The first one is simply to delay age-related diseases, but that depends on your level of health at the moment you start the program. The second way, which is regenerative, will attempt to revive the process of regeneration which was lost in order to lengthen our telomeres and protect our stock of stem cells. Modern approaches are focusing on epigenetic by activating the good genes. This is why scientists are using telomerase activator, which will activate the telomerase enzyme, which in turn will rebuild unit by unit the telomeres. Chapter 5, we will talk about the fantastic future of epigenetics. Nutrigenomics is a new science which shows the major influence of nutrition on producing the right proteins. Epigenetic will allow us to personalize any medical treatment by mastering the impact of each ingredient on gene expression. The fourth part is dedicated to improvement of our lifestyle. It is a scientific fact that healthy lifestyle increases longevity. We will see how good nutrition improves longevity and how genes can also influence our nutrition, how regular exercise can improve longevity, and how exercise influences our gene expression, how stress can reduce our longevity. We all know that emotion influences our longevity, and I will show you why. Even our attitudes and relationships affect our longevity. Finally, healthy lifestyle can certainly increase the length of our telomeres. The fifth part finally will help you to put all this new knowledge into practice, thanks to its concrete solution with the J-Life Longevity Program. It starts with a complete assessment of your biological age. In the nutrition part, I will show you how to use food and food supplement to stay healthy and to improve longevity. The Fitness J-Life program is quite easy to follow, and also the very special anti-stress program. In the last part, I provide 5 major questionnaires to help you to follow your progress. And to conclude, is immortality really around the corner? And what could we do to be healthier tomorrow than we are today? Well, if you follow all the J-Life plan every day, you will score extra healthy days. For how long? As long as possible. And maybe then the promise of immortality will become more than a promise. Thank you very much. Enjoy the book. My name is William Amzalag and I am Generation Young.